Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this live stream, we are going to be watching along with the Reds versus WARATAHS matchup for the Australian side of Super Rugby Pacific. We're already up to round 6. We've had some very close games throughout the weekend, including the first game that we have seen for the Super Rugby Pacific competition go to Golden Point. But this game, the chance could be relatively close as well. The Reds, they are the favourites going into this game, but the WARATAHS, they have got a strong side that will also be trying to look towards a win. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The kickoff, they always say 9:45 is kickoff, but that is never the case in the Australian games. We're already sitting 9:46 and we've still got ads. So I'd say that we're probably around 3 or 4 minutes away from this game getting properly away. The players, it is absolutely bucketing down. They'll be pretty wet out there at this point in time, but hopefully it is going to be an entertaining fixture. But this is the starting lineup for the Reds that they have gone with Dane Zander, Josh Nasser, and Taniela Tupou, Big Tong and Thor slotting in there at number 3. Ryan Smith and Angus Blythe as the 4-5. Siruru, Fraser McWright, and Harry Wilson will be the 3 loose forward trio. Then from there, Tate McDermott back from his injury. It's great to see him back for the Reds. James O'Connor at 10. Alongside him, Josh Fluke, Hamish Stewart, Hunter Paisami, Jock Campbell, and then Jordan Bataya once again will be there at fullback for this matchup. And also we have got the I'm Not a Happy Girl. Oh, well, next time G says no, Mum. It did look like quite a good atmosphere there at the ground, but it is just a bit of a shame that the Chiefs weren't quite able to get themselves the job done in that match up against the Crusaders. This is the lineup that the Waratahs have got for themselves. It is going to be Faulkner, Parecki, and Johnson Holmes as the front row. Hugh Sinclair, Jeff Cridge, I should say. Charlie Gamble, Carlo Tizzano. That's a lie. Yes, no, that is his name. Never mind. I'm getting myself confused. Will Harris at number 8. Jack Grant, Tane Edmonds gets the opportunity to start at number 10. Newsom, Jamie Roberts, Lalakai Faketi, Noah Kwanitawasi out on the wing, and Will Harrison slotting in there as the number 15 for the lineup. And also Buller says it was there from Tira Na Marie. Hopefully I've said that correctly there. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. These are the benches for the two sides. Now, it has been confirmed that Tom Horton will be the man who does end up as the replacement rather than the other Rugby Girl show, United Rugby Girl show, United Rugby Championship. And there it says Lottie, Rugby Girl Show. Are you talking about the Women's Six Nations as well? Because I know that is going to be coming up very soon. And it should be a very exciting one to see how it does end up going. But they've got a few games of the URC that are taking place tonight. Also, a few other matches taking place with the top 14, the Gallagher Premiership, and there as well. But Jed Holloway, he's coming off the bench. He is one to watch out for in this matchup. And also, if I had to pick one player for the Reds, or in fact, I'll pick 2, and that is going to be Liam Wright, and then also Isaac Henry. He's going to be one to watch out for in the later stages of this game when he does come off the bench. But at this stage, we are getting extremely close to this match getting underway. It's looking like a nice-ish night at Suncorp earlier on, but unfortunately now it is absolutely pouring down. It seems like it's going to be wet. Forecast that has it for the showers. People have got their plastic suits on, hoping to not get too damp throughout this game. I mean, whoever's selling those will make a fortune at the ground, that is for sure. But Suncorp Stadium, it's certainly a pressure cooker when you are up against the opposition, and that is where the Waratahs, they need to try and shine in this matchup as well. It's going to be exciting to see how it does end up going. And do let me know your score predictions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Currently still in the changing rooms here for the players. So I'm glad that I started at 9:45 and not 9:50, because that's still probably around 5 minutes away from getting underway for this match. But Faulkner, Parecki is the captain here for the Waratahs. So big call to have him there. It's going to be exciting. And Ryan Smith, actually a late inclusion. That's for Harry Johnson Holmes. And also we have got there, are you doing Super Rugby or Sevens next weekend, says Aidan. We'll probably be juggling the two. So it will be the case of sometimes we will be doing the Sevens when there isn't Super Rugby, and other times we'll be doing the Super Rugby when there's not Sevens, and trying to kind of balance the two depending on who's playing at what time. So I think if that makes sense. And also, holy smokes, is that Jamie Roberts from Wales? It certainly is. And I mean, that's the thing. His head is just very solid. His jaw looks like something out of a cartoon, but he's a unit and a half, and he'll be excited to get a go out there on the field. Actually gets to start in this game, which is actually quite big for him, as he is normally coming off the bench. And also Lottie has got a whole heap of the rain and the umbrellas there as well. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the games in Australia have been affected by rain as of late, but hoping it's still a good game. It's going to be tricky. There's going to be a lot of handling errors, I would think, more than likely, but that will just mean we're probably being played at a slower tempo than anticipated. It's going to be a forward-orientated game, which means someone like a Taniela Tupou might be able to shine. I'm upset. Hamish, I've lost a lot of money this weekend, says Aidan. I have not because I did not bet on anything. That's the thing you got to work on. You can't lose money if you're not betting it. A little bit of that life lesson for that one. But currently now they are about to make their way back out onto the field. I'm going to move my microphone a little bit. And also we have got there, suck. And there's this Jay. Hello, Jay. How are you, mate? Hope you're doing well. You seem quite grumpy at this stage, I guess. But yeah, this stage not too far away from this one getting underway for this matchup. But we're going to move this over to here. And we're going to go like this as well. But yeah, unfortunately, a game affected by rain. Not really what we wanted here. And also, hi, says Aksar. Welcome in to the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well currently now, though. First try scorer of the match. I'm going to back, I'll say Daniela Tupou. And also, please tell me, Hamish, I think I'm addicted. I feel like I'm probably not the best one to base off in terms of like helping with a gambling addiction. I would say more likely your gambling site should have an option to be able to, I guess, take a timeout. And that might be a good idea. To be honest, like as in person to person might not be a terrible one. And also, no, I'm not grumpy. And this is Jay. Okay. It's a bit 50-50. That's all. The first message seemed quite angry. And then the next one, you got a smiley face. And they're out. Is it because of the rain or is it because of something else, Jay? Do you let me know? But currently, do let me know. Also, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will be scoring the first try of this game? I feel like there's a good chance. I don't know. Dane Zander, for some reason, for me, doesn't seem like a terrible option. Just looking through. And also, we have got the Amir. So, Jay is grumpy in there as well. And there says Aiden. Oh, that makes sense. It might have been a like kind of message to that one above. Never mind. That I've worked it out now. That helps out. But now the Tides are back out on the field about 15 minutes. Oh, sorry, not 50. About 10 minutes late. Out onto the field. Seems to just be the case with every game of Australian Super Rugby. Unfortunately, they're always very late starting, but it's looking very, very bad, I guess is the nicest way of putting it, for the rain. It's just pouring down, and I'm hoping it's not going to be too hectic of a game in terms of how much rain we do get to see. But Suru takes that catch and watching sport from yesterday to 3 to 10 of 52, and still says Lottie. So you have certainly committed. Going short side, Harry Wilson. Whose idea was it to put a whole heap of smoky fireworks up? What was the idea with that? Now they're just waiting for all the smoke to clear before they can continue kind of seeing what is happening in the game. But kick downfield from Tame McDermott. Beautifully taken there by Noah Kwanetawasi. And then I would name it up or aim very nicely for that one. Where did my lineups go? I just made them disappear. Unfortunately, there they are. I have got them back. So we are all good. But currently a little knock on from the Waratahs on the ground. And it is going to be the scrum feed now for the Reds. And also, I'm not grumpy. I'm happy. Happy you lost all your fake money with your fake bets. And there, geez, that sounds gangster, didn't it? I feel like you said yeah rather than yo, though, didn't you? I feel like I'm not quite as gangster overall. George actually only just left, I should mention as well. If anyone's wondering, why am I by myself now without a George? It is because he has gone home. Got an early morning start. He's going out on the farm, but I think he's coming around tomorrow night, hopefully for the NRL. That's my job. And there's Jack, by the way, will New Zealand be back for next weekend. And there, New Zealand be back. I believe they will be alongside Fiji and also Samoa, two other sides that will be added back in for that one. And also, what is your thought about last night's draw versus Rebels? It was a high-scoring one, that is for sure. The Rebels, every time they seem to feel a little bit complacent, that's when the Fijian draw struck again. And then in the end, they just had enough on the board to be able to stop any chance of a comeback from the draw. But it was not from lack of trying. They just kept on going. That's gone down in the front row. It's going to be a slippery time out there, I would think, in the front rows. These two sides with Daniela Tupou gets a smack on the back. I'm sure didn't have a poo in your toilet. $40 is a lot of cases. He said he was going home. So I assume maybe that's what's in the process as well. But now, kicking it for the touchline, James O'Connor. Suncorp Stadium. I'm exhausted, says Jackson. Now you get to chill out, watch some rugby, and then probably get to bed if you got a day of work tomorrow. So I think it was Faulkner that they were just showing in the front row. And no Angus Bell. And also Ryan Smith, a late inclusion. That is for Harry Johnson-Holmes, who is out of the lineup. Now it is going to be Tane Edmund. Fires it back across. It's setting up nicely for Jordan Pataya, who's there at fullback for this game. And this one for the Reds. And don't talk to me, Jay. As I know of rent next week. See, I feel like if that is the case, why were you betting it. So I feel like you certainly should talk to your gambling site about being able to shut you down. As Jack went up the hill. And there's also we have got there, Jack went to Big Gary's and their banana shake chicken style kebab. No idea what that is, but it sounds all right. But that will be now the penalty to the Waratahs in that case. Now, Tane Edmer kicking it for the touchline. Charlie Gamble, is that? Yes. I was going to say, as soon as you see a massive mustache, it's one or two people, Nick White or Charlie Gamble. Nick White not playing in this game. So that now means that it is going to be the other man, Charlie Gamble. And also we've got their spring rolls, says Jack. And also hello, says Betty Waggle. Welcome in the live stream. The food items in there. Sounds all right. No. For tea, I had a plate of chips. Might be allergic to them. No, I'm not. It's all good. Just a fever, $14. And there's Albert now going back across here for the Waratahs. Dropping the head. That is big Jamie Roberts. Getting his first carry off this matchup. The Waratahs, they need to make sure that they don't get shut down early on in this match. Tane Edmund tries to spin out of the tackle in the end of Fluke. That one. I agree. You need to get the problem sorted out. And gambling addiction is more powerful than substance issues. I really think you should take a break. And there's and also it's Taco. Geez, sounds like you got a smorgasbord from the place. Sounds all right. Now Suru unable to turn it over. Now passing it back across. Short ball straight to Will Harris. And he's been scoring tries for fun throughout the season. Edmund now going back. Jamie Roberts tries to find the offload on the outside. Flows it straight to one of the Reds players. And now it's in the hands of McDermott on the ground. Looks like James O'Connor's going to have to try and play halfback. He's done just that. Suru now continuing to try and drive his way forward. But the Reds versus Waratahs, one of those battles that everyone just loves watching. California. Is this all tonight, Jack? Because if you have, that's a lot of food. So you probably don't feel like moving too much. You're probably exhausted, not from the work, but from eating that much. So there's a big dinner. Says Jack, there's taken nicely there by the number 11 in this one, which is Alex Newsom. Back across the field now, Edmund linking up. Now continuing to make their way forward. Number 9. Waiting for it. Oh, no. Whose foot did that touch? It went backwards. But not the best pass there from Jack Grant. Getting back up to his feet there. Sinclair's allowed to go again. Now currently almost stolen by Fraser McWright. Backline movement. Will Harrison, he was having a very good game a couple of weeks ago as well. Hardly put a foot wrong. Oh, no. So here we got 20 metres out here for the Waratahs. And now that is going to be the penalty in favour of the Reds for the not releasing. And also, please enjoy the game, my guy. And there as well says it was from Sebastian. Currently now 5.5 minutes through this one. And I think it was actually Faulkner did get himself penalised. Tara Faulkner didn't release that ball as quickly as he needed to. Or was it Ryan Smith? It might have been Ryan Smith, in fact. And I was like, well, if that's the truth, that's nice. Currently now 40. That's a good kick downfield. And now currently 42 metres out. And it will be the Reds who have got themselves a line out. They will be hoping to be able to win this match, you'd think comfortably, but first rugby start for Tane Edmund, he's going to have to step up. But we saw Aidan Morgan on his debut. He did very nicely for himself as well. Currently now 6 minutes in. It looks like already Angus Blythe just getting a little bit of medical attention. Getting strapped up on the eye, getting a bit of Vaseline on the eyebrow. Oh, no, someone's cut open. Is that Hugh Sinclair? Yeah, he's bleeding from the head, so there's going to be another little patch-up job here. Time is off. All the players already showing the scars of this fixture, and we're only 6 minutes in. Okay, so Nick Berry's just gone over saying, take your time. They've got to cut as well, so you've got plenty of time to try and patch it up a little bit. I don't think it's quite bad enough for... stitches in there. But certainly not looking too nice for him. I think they put some Vaseline on it for Angus Blythe. 2 tries in his career for Super Rugby, sitting on 37 out of that one as well. Now currently 34 minutes left in this one. We'll be interested to see how it does end up going. They're talking about the Barry Hall fight. Of course, that one didn't last too long, unfortunately, there. Currently now 6.5 minutes into this game, and the line-out throw will be in favour of the Reds, and Josh Nasser will have to throw this one in. That's how it also here. That was good. It was very good overall. And also do it out and get it sorted in There, well, that one's going to be going back, taken nicely by Jack Grant. I'm just moving this so that we have got the lineups of both sides up on this screen also, because I want to see who's on the bench for these games, because I know that there's a late change of Harry Johnson-Holmes, or in fact, he's at 17 now, so that is for Angus Bell, and instead it is actually going to be Archer Hulls who is in there as the replacement. And also we've got the, I see you having fun with Jack. It is, says Petty, currently now driving their way forward. Now number 9, in the former Jack Grant, kicks it as high as physically possible. What else I just do other than talking rugby? So George ended up coming around for a little bit of time, but other than that, I've pretty much been editing and sorting everything out for the live streams, such as lineups and etc. And now Daniela Tupou Tonga for little pop pass up to Fraser McWright. And now it seems like it is going to be slightly going backwards there for them, but now James O'Connor passing it back across now to Hamish Stewart. They will continue to drive forward. And who's George? George is the one. Oh, no, you weren't here for the last live stream, were you? It's pretty much the one who was sitting next to me for the Crusaders versus Chiefs match. It was George, one of the other Kiwi lads. Well, but a penalty there to Waratahs after 7.5 minutes. Jamie Roberts being able to go straight in. I think it was someone who went in through the side, which did end up getting in a little bit of trouble. It was actually Angus Blythe who went in from the side. He is the one who's penalised. And also George, this guy, that is true. The emoji that is based off his face. We do still need to add in our probably Isaac and Daniel, although I guess a lot of you guys probably didn't even know who George was, so you had no idea who Isaac and Daniel are as well. But we were discussing plans, me and George, of video ideas and whatnot. We've got quite a list, and a lot of them are out and about and away from, some of them are actually away from gaming or rugby, which will be an interesting venture. Now throwing this one in. It's gone in nicely. Someone says not straight, sir. The sir says, nah, it's all right. Jamie Roberts, good bit of crash ball there, but he is dragged down by Fraser McWright. Makes a lot of tackles. Big George in there. Says Betty Wing, a nice backline movement. Edmund now goes through the gap, finds the offload. Nawaqanita Wasi Harrison now into the hands of Newsom. Keeps it in the field of play. Nawaqanita Wasi also offloads it to try to the Waratahs. And that is Jack Grant, who has been able to score it. And they are fired up, and the Reds aren't happy. At this stage, I don't think they like getting themselves a try against them in the early stages of the match, but the Waratahs are the first try scorer. Okay, they're going to be going upstairs just to check this one as well, but that is going to be possibly a try to Jack Grant in the 8th minute if this one does stand. It's a great start to the match. Well, that is for sure. And also Isaac and George, and then also we have got there Daniel is the other man, as and these AFNs. Says Jack, they are indeed. And yeah, Daniel is included in that group as well. He's somehow stayed in the field of play. That's flicked off the back. That's a try, I believe, for Jack Grant. As I think you're right. And then George seems like the kind of bloke it would be fun to get on the piss with. He is pretty hectic even off the grog. So I guess you could say yes. But also the same guy that you've got to keep an eye on every once in a while, or else then he would end up in a random location. The ball is grounded. It's going to be the try standing. Brilliant work from Alex Newsom. Great work by Mark Nawaqanita Wasi. And the Waratahs take the lead in this game. But Jack Grant, it's well done by the number 13 there. He easily could have gone. And Jack, good game. Just scored a try. Not quite. It wasn't said Jack Grant, but a different Jack. So a fellow Jack has been able to score themselves the try there. Currently now Jack Grant scoring it in the 9th minute. But yeah, it was actually Lalakai Fakiti who did extremely well. I see that Isaiah Parisi is not playing this game, though, so hopefully that's not to do with injury and instead just resting him, because he is a dangerous player. They're around, but the Waratahs just keeping that pressure on now. Will Harrison from the touchline. Not an easy kick, but he struck that one pretty nicely. It's coming back round as well, and that will be 7-0 now to the Waratahs over the Reds. Good start. I was over here, I've got there. Jack, why do you say your name? And your messages. It's a good question. I guess that's one of those ones because he probably knows that I read out a lot of messages. So then it's a good way of getting some promotion, I guess, for the Mexican one. Sorry, bro. And he says, Jacob, no worries at all. But currently now, and Amish, I'll call the gambling helpline tomorrow. It's a good idea. And also, Aisha, your first name with a Super Rugby player. No way, bro. And there it says Sebastian as well. Not just one. Jack Goodhue. He's not playing. Oh, no, he's not really counted, does he? He hasn't played in a long time. And then see what they say. And that's why I don't think he's doing it. I think he is. It's just you don't, I guess, know what people's situations are, which is why I'm always hesitant in terms of like saying anything bad overall. His gut feeling says Jay, and that one as well. But currently 40 metres out from the line. Now, Tate McDermott, there's someone who's just shouted out offside that we just heard, but I'm not too sure who that was. Harry Wilson now around the side. He is certainly driving at the line very hard. Tate McDermott goes across to James O'Connor. Now, Josh Nasser close to the touchline. Oh, he's kept it almost in the field of play. And also, who do you go for at this one? I mean, I think everyone wants to see an upset for the Waratahs winning, but then also the Reds should win. So that's why it's such a tricky one. Trying to decide. I think it could go either way, but I'm going to say it will be the Reds. I think the Reds fight back in the second half. And also we have got there, what's the score margin for this match? I'd say, I mean, if the Waratahs continue playing the way that they are, I'd say it's only going to be about 5. And Hamilton had a red sunset. And there as well says Jack. I haven't really kept up to date with the weather and the news and whatnot. I just realized they called it sunset weather, which I guess, is it weather? Is it considered weather? I guess a little bit. I was like, well, Harris scored a try in this game. I mean, he scored in almost every other game, so I feel like it's worth a chance that maybe he has been able to do so in this one, maybe. And the second half, and I'm watching the replay, and by the way, I predicted the Tars win. They need to make up for their last season's disaster. And that's the thing, 3 wins already is huge for them. If they beat the Reds, that certainly shows that they are a contender. Well, this one, replay of Crusaders versus Chiefs, it was a very good game. Now, James O'Connor off to Jordan Pataya. Let's try and go for the little overlap. I think it was a knock-on from the Reds, then a knock-on from the Rebels. They're not playing. Knock-on from the Waratahs. And now it is going to be the scrum feed. But 3 ending errors from the Waratahs so far here. 1 for the Rebels. And I don't know that. And also, Jordan Pataya has been quiet so far. He has been. I think we've seen him about twice. And that time, unfortunately, did end up just having the ball knocked out of his hands and play to watch from both teams. I would say for the Reds, I'm sick of saying Taniela Tupou, so I'm going to go with someone else just for them. I'm going to go Fraser McWright. And number 7 seems like he's going to have a big game, definitely in rainy conditions. And then for the Waratahs, I mean, Noah Quinitawasi and Newsom, the 2 wingers, seem like they are 2 to watch out for up the Tars. And there says Ed and currently a 7-0 lead for the Waratahs also. But 35 metres out from the line here, the Waratahs. They're going to have their scrum feed. It's not going to be an easy day at the office, though, for Faulkner, as he is going to have to go up front with Taniela Tupou, but it's still pouring down. I wish it would stop raining in the Australian games. I feel like we're not getting to see that free-flowing rugby that both sides have the potential of being able to do so. I mean, if it's like this when it's raining, imagine what it's like when it's dry. Well, Harris now passing that ball back across to Jack Grant, shut down by Siruru. But now backline movement, Edmund goes one more to Jamie Roberts, just waited too long. Tate McDermott right in, and in there it was Fraser McWright, no one able to turn it over. And the Chiefs were disappointing, joking aside. And then Sebastian, sadly, just didn't seem like they quite found, like, what was it that went wrong? Was it the handling errors, or was it just something just didn't quite click the way that it did in that first match? I'm still trying to work it out. I'll probably watch a replay and try and work out what exactly happened to them and why it kind of went downhill. I think the Crusaders, they had a couple standout players that really helped propel the team forward. Jordan Pataya now sitting inside of his own half. Territory gained 30.9 metres. That's a new stat that I haven't seen before. And Raiders versus Titans. And I was like, yeah, that is going on at the moment for the NRL. Now pop pass up. And he take it nicely. Now Pye back down to Tate McDermott. Oh, Edmund drops it, does he? Or does he hang on to it? They're saying that he might have been able to hang on 4-0. And yeah, that one's going to be kicked long. The Red supporters are not too happy at the moment there. And now James O'Connor looking for the step. He goes round. He does get dragged down now. Hamish Stewart goes off to Josh Fluke. In fact, it's Jock Campbell there. And it's a penalty to the Reds. So it works out. Do you know the last time the Waratahs beat the Reds? It was probably a little while ago, I would think. I know that they were close in their first fixture, weren't they? Oh. Almost at control of that. Eels beat the Storm. Geez, that's a big result. And also, Abolsi from Joy is making a name for himself, I reckon. Yeah, he's been very strong so far. And Robert Talmada out on the other wings, not looking too bad either for them. They've got a strong backline. It's just putting it together and finding their feet in the Super Rugby competition. Speaking of finding footing, it's not very easy at the moment out there at Suncorp because it's just poured down every game pretty much that the Reds have had at home and also away, to be fair. It's just a rainy season in Australia. Now 50 metres out. Josh Nasser going to be thrown in this one. Take a nice look. And also we have got the good question. When was the last time the Waratahs beat the Reds? I would say it's probably been a little while, but it used to be an awesome battle As if Eels fans weren't cocky enough already. There's Sebastian also obviously could be lured to Japan/European clubs. To be honest, I think France will be after him. Like all the best Fijian wingers go to France, it seems, for a start, and then they transition either to the Gallagher Premiership or Japan. So I think someone such as I could see, I don't know, someone like mid-table, maybe like a Papignan signing him, seeing how he goes for them. Like someone mid-table in the top 14, 2021. Oh, okay, so it was actually relatively recently. I'm sure we will hear more about it tomorrow, Seb. And there's and also we have the big upset is coming. And then New Zealand at Storm, way too overrated. Now kicked a mine from Campbell, looking for some space, straight down to Newsom. Offloads it back to Tane Edmund. He does kick it downfield into touch. It's a kicking battle at the moment. AQB Lads have just done a 6-hour live stream. A new update server was down for 1 hour, 20 minutes. I assume you would be relatively tired. I'm not sure about this territory gain stat. I'm still getting used to it because it's kind of weird overall, because I feel like there's a few different factors that can play. Tell you what, when you see the slow motion of the rain falling, that makes that catch from Nawakone Tawasi just that little bit more impressive as well. As for sure, Jay, then will we see a card in this match? I think so. I think someone's going to slip into a challenge that they don't want to make. That's going to be a little knock on there from the Reds. Jamie Roberts ends up picking the ball up nicely. Gamble now fires it back. It's going to be big Rowan Smith at number 3. Back across now. Going to be the big number 7 in this one, which is actually Carlo Tizzano now out the back line. The Reds have stolen this one. Harry Wilson drawing past. They've got 3-on-1. Now Paisami has to time it perfectly. Goes on the inside to O'Connor. He's going to be about a metre short of the line. Now to the short side. Brilliant defence. Or was it? Oh, that was a bit rough from Will Harris. Who gets the penalty there? That was brilliantly done. I think it's going to be a 5-metre penalty. That was sensational. And that is going to be the draw and pass straight out. Inside ball from James O'Connor. And then, who was it? I think it was Angus Blythe went for it round the side, but Angus Blythe got stopped from going over the line. And then got pushed over by Will Harris. He's going to have to be careful not to get himself penalised there, Will Harris. Which I think is actually why the penalty went the way of the Reds. And also we have got there, when Hooper going to decide to play again? He's back in the training squad. So hopefully a little while, or not too much longer, I should say. He's been out for a while is what I meant there. So maybe a few minutes. No, not a few minutes. What am I on about? A few weeks. Hopefully he will be back out on the field for the Waratahs. Although at this stage, they're proving they don't really need him completely. And he's like Dale from Step Brothers on the drum as well, says Jay there. So I assume you're not allowed to touch his drum set. Definitely not drag your balls across the house. I assume that would piss him off quite a bit. Also, I don't know where he gets his energy from. I suppose he imagines that the drum is Brady's face. And as I said, Sebastian, a kick for the touchline now for the Reds. And they're going to be sitting about 5 metres out now with the line out throw. But Josh Nasser, ready to go here. So where's Taniela Tupu? He's at the front. I'm looking out for him. And I feel like the reason for that is because he's just used as the battering ram. This is well said. Josh Nasser at the back. Harry Wilson asking them to creep forward. It's looking pretty good for them as well here for the Reds. Seru drags him forward. He goes over. The ball's actually up at the moment. It's still up. It's held up. Brilliant defense there from the Waratahs. Goes down on the egg. Or the leg, I should say, at Mountains. And I like the Crusaders t-shirt Mountains. Yeah, it is a very nice kit. And IQB led it, even though the Chiefs lost. I think the Chiefs gave it absolutely everything and stayed in the fight the whole way. But unfortunately, just came short. And there's it was a shame that they weren't quite able to get over the line just because it looked like they were wanting it badly. But yeah, just missing out. And also, Hooper sabbatical is concerning to a Wallabies fan. We need him to be ready for this year. And Hooper is probably tired of captaining a poor Australian side. So probably getting paid in Japan, less physical and more cash. And there as well. Do you think Japan are paying him to not play in their competition, but to not play over here as well? That would be easy money. That is for sure. Currently now the 22 dropout, 20 minutes. Or in fact, it's a goal line dropout, sorry. Batai gives it off to Harry Wilson. The speed is building up. Good hit there from, I believe it was big Jamie Roberts, who was able to drag him down. Now number 1 forming. A little bit of a backline movement here was Dane Zander. There across the Taniela Tupou, Tong and Thor tackle maybe a bit high. Yes, it was. And now the advantage is the way of the Reds. Uru Going for the pick and go straight on the ball there for Jack Grant, and it will be going back for the initial penalty in favour of the Reds. Okay. I think they're going to take on the 3. Yes, they are. They're within 7 if they get this one over for James O'Connor, and it keeps them in the hunt for the later stage of true. They were poor last year. They are making an effort this season. They are. And I feel like the Rebels, unfortunately, have taken over that bottom Australian side spot, although the Western Force at times have looked a bit questionable as well, but probably not as bad as the Rebels. I don't like the Rebels' decision-making. I think I made that quite clear on the last live stream as well, because they chose the wrong times to go for 3s in a lot of their games. And when they lose by only a few points, and you wonder, what if they had kicked it for the corner and got the try? Then, how different would this game be? But they just seem to like going for the 3 points, trying to save it tomorrow as the start of the Japan Top League. And there's RC Jackson. We've got more Japanese football, I would think, or Japanese rugby, I should say, there as well. Currently now lining it up here will be James O'Connor from 40 out. Strikes it. It's away to the side. And that will mean that it is going to be remaining 7-0, not what they wanted there. And James O'Connor, he's disappointed with that one. What was that? Did he have I think a tiny tee that he just tucked into his pants like it was a tennis ball in the tennis. That was really good there. When did the Japanese competition started? Probably about, I think, same time as Super Rugby, sometime around there. Man of the match from Chiefs vs Crusaders, best try. And this is Ed. So I would say man of the match. It's a weird one because man of the match could easily probably have gone to Will Jordan, but he made a lot of mistakes. So you'd maybe go Cullen Grace with the way that he played. He was very impressive throughout that game. Nicely taken by Edmund, met by Jordan Pataya. It's given him a bit of a rush defense. The best try was probably that set play from the Crusaders, as it was just very crisp. That was actually the try of Will Jordan. And also, what do you have a Brumbies versus Force Stadium background? You're watching Waratahs versus Reds. I will correct you. It's actually, I believe I've got the FMG Stadium background at this stage for the Waikato game up against Canterbury, but now sitting, I think, 25 metres out from the line now. Continuing to drive their way forward, although at least that's what it says on my naming thing, so it's probably different at this stage. And also, we've got the A1 rule. If you concede a try, you can still go for the kick. But if you've already conceded 2, kick it for the corner. Any team that doesn't respect this rule, I can't really respect them as well, says Sebastian. Yeah. It's like Fiji and Draw. It was interesting to see them taking 3 points. They won't change background, I understand. And as well, but now going back across field here. And also, that's better task for that one. Says SpongeBob in that one as well. But the hands have gone down. So there's a penalty to the Reds. Right, this time it's an easier 3. But do they want it this time? I think it was Carlo Tizzano is penalised there. He's not too happy with that one. I still don't treating me badly. And yeah, so I guess the best way to do it is to just block his messages. Just because, I've got to the stage here with your rivalry with each other, I'm more than likely just not going to read out the messages. So yeah, if you haven't blocked, then you won't actually see any of it that is going on. I put a photo on the Discord. There's no moment. I think I saw that notification a little bit earlier on. One moment. We will move that over there while we've got a bit of a stoppage. It's the Kiwi Lads one, I believe it is. Geez, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Is that like the fire from the cannon thing? Or the sparky thingy mabob? That's fancy. It's like a random, I thought it was the sun for a start, and then I was like, hang on, that's not the sun. But yeah, good photo. So hopefully, did he enjoy the game as well, even though the Chiefs did end up losing that one? No one, do let me know. James O'Connor lining up this one this time. Does get that one down the middle, and yep, and there as well. And also we have got there, what is the temperature in Brisbane? And that one says, Jack, I believe they're sitting probably about 15 degrees, and it is going to definitely be a wet day at this current point in time. But Fraser McWright, a little bit of a limp here. Is he staying on the field? Got some strapping on the ankle. Yeah, was a good night for both of us. And the ASL says no, so it would have been nice after having to isolate for so long. You did get to make your way back out onto the field. Oh, okay, that was not just someone who landed on it. That was Big Tits out of Faulkner, who weighs about 130. So that wouldn't have been too nice. 15 in rain. And there says Jack, yeah, somewhere around that marker, I think is what the temperature will be sitting for them. That's just based off previous weather conditions in Brisbane when it's raining that I can think of. I think it might even be 18 degrees. In fact, I think they had a little bit earlier on, so slightly warmer for them. Now Tate McDermott puts up the high kick. Will Harris unable to charge it down. Now down to the halfway line. And that's, it's a good shot there on Will Harrison. Poor Hamish, it's been so long since he's seen the sun that he doesn't even know what it looks like anymore. This is yeah, it's been a while. Normally asleep during the day, unfortunately. And now taken nicely by Jamie Roberts. And now it's going to be wrestled down by Campbell. I don't think Fraser McWright's able to go for that one. Unfortunately, losing his footing once again. And they're up and now 40 metres out from their line, the Waratahs. This game's been flying by already, 25 minutes through it. We have got either the URC or the IPL later on tonight. I'm still on the fence of which way to go with those because I don't know how long my voice is going to last. So it's like I could do 3.5 hours for the IPL, or I could do 4 to 6 hours with the URC at a quicker pace. So it's dependent on how much I feel like talking, I guess. For the latter stage, it's good kick in behind from James O'Connor, looking for the 50-22. He gets it as well. Brilliant kick. And behind from James O'Connor, now 5 metres out, it will be the rolling ball opportunity here for the Reds. Territory gains, 42.9 metres. I wonder if that's a full-time thing that they're going to be doing, that they do end up showing the territory gained every single time that someone kicks a ball or loses it. Yes, but it was a great one. 5 metres out from the line. James O'Connor, he knows how important that one could have been for them. This gives them the opportunity to take the lead if they do get this one right. Even if he misses the conversion, still going to be in the lead by a little bit. But the first 50-22 of the day, almost the first one of the Australian games, I want to say. Or did the Brumbies get one up against the Force? Maybe. Might have been that one. But I know that we had one from Aidan Morgan. And the Hurricanes game now going for the rolling ball once again. Now, last time they defended it absolutely spectacularly. Currently, Harry Wilson just trying to stop them from rolling their way forward. It's going to be the advantage. Nessa goes down, flicks it out the back to Tate McDermott. Elusive, big spins and scores. And Tate McDermott gets a try for the Reds, their first of the match. And we will go like that. And we will go like that. As the Reds try scorers. Here we go. The Reds, they were able to score it. And it was McDermott. He's only just come back to the side and now already scoring himself his first try. His name does not look right. But I think I've spelled it right there. Currently 27 minutes through, and it is the try to the Reds. It gives them just a little bit further back into this game now. Back that much further into it that they are in the lead. And also we have got there, I think the Chiefs man of the match for me was Alex Nankerville, just because he was so good of creating opportunities out of nowhere. How about you? Yeah, so if I was to go for the Chiefs, I would have gone with Nankerville, as he didn't only get the 2 tries, but he helped in a lot of the moments, like even in build up to other tries. Or even close opportunities. He was involved. Brody's really been sent around ranch. Good riddance, as all I say. And it is Sebastian. Who's Brody? Brody's, is that, is he doing a live stream at the moment, I assume? Maybe? Not too sure. I get confused very easily. I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to move that over to there. I've just clicked on Grego's. Grego's got 35,000 subscribers. The way you guys were talking about, I thought he had 302K subscribers. I thought he had like 5, which was you guys. There's some noise coming from my eardrums, and I don't know where it's coming from. There we go. I fixed it. And now kicking it downfield. And also he's going Blazer Sever, who is as likable as a gingerhead stepson is on there. Well, there you go, eh? Although the stepchildren, of course, need a bit of loving as well. And now Tate McDermott, maybe he is that ginger stepson. Now Harry Wilson getting forced backwards. And now getting ready to put up the box kick. We're 29 minutes into this game, currently a 3-point lead for the Reds. They were able to get that conversion over. It does give them that little bit more of a lead. That's gone into touch. That's a good kick. A good kick from Tate McDermott there. Now the Waratahs, they need to make sure that they don't allow the Reds to score any more tries before the end of this first half. And also the other side of it is we want to see the Waratahs not really just let the Reds play their game. Because the Waratahs, if they do allow that, they're going to be in some trouble. At the moment now, about to be a throw here for Dave Parecki, the captain of the Waratahs. No Michael Hooper as of yet, but one day we will get to see him. Down the back, taken very nicely. Roselle now around the side. It was actually, I believe that was Carlo Tazzano Noah Kwanita Wasi actually runs his way forward as the first receiver role. Now nice link-up play from the lock. Sinclair gives it off into the hands of Jeff Cridge. He's gone down to the ground now. He's got a Harry Wilson landing on top of him, trying to counter-ruck. There was Liam Smith. That's Elias Ryan Smith. Doesn't quite work out. Fraser McBride now trying to steal that ball once again. Going short side. Grant off to Jamie Roberts. Continuing to drive their way forward slowly and steadily. You can't go forward when Dane Zander smacks you, though. And Brody constantly floods all chat channels and Discord so he can rank up. He's a flog. And as I says, Jay, what does ranking up actually do in a Discord server? Out of curiosity. Like, does it actually mean anything, or does it just do it? That was dropped by Jamie Roberts on the ground. I saw a little knock on there. But they have not. So they will be continuing just for now. Tackle release. Once again, maybe he didn't drop it. It did just look like a little knock on. Now passing it out the back line. It's a knock on that time. And now they will be going back for their scrum feed to the Reds. Some good work there. Nick Berry looks very small next to Tadela Tupou. At the end of the day, who doesn't? As I know, LA said, hey, as I welcome into the live stream, mate. Currently, Tizano. That was a big hit from, it was actually Josh Nasser was able to charge his way forward. Nice little high five there between Harry Wilson and Nasser. Well, a nice little bit of camaraderie between the Reds players. Now getting to kick this one possibly into touch once they do win the scrum. But currently this tackle success rate actually higher for the Waratahs, making 51 out of the 56 attempts that they have had. If Brody shows up on this channel, I recommend immediate bracing. And there's us, Sebastian. Is he more of an NRL boy rather than, I guess, the rugby union? Because I don't think we've seen him before, have we? Okay, they're just going upstairs for a TMO, and I think it's going to be Dane Zander's shot on Ruan Smith to see whether or not he might have done a slight shoulder charge on him. Right. Maybe heat contact. Right. Ruan Smith. Oh, they've said shoulder to head, so that's going to be a penalty to the Waratahs, I believe, the way that they're talking about it. Yep. Shoulder to head there. Oh, okay. I'm concerned for Josh Nasser here. He's either going to get a yellow or a red, and they're going to decide how much mitigation there is. I think he's not to step into certain, or he knows not to step into certain YouTube streams. Says Jay, then also NRL, AFL, football, rugby, professional boss. He thinks he knows it all, mate. And there's and also I've got about that immediate bracing for it. See, I don't think I'm on the Discord server anymore. I was on it, but then I think I got kicked from it, unfortunately. So I have no idea what's going on that one anymore. So I don't really know who's ranking up and all sorts. Currently 31 minutes through. Oh, okay. It's a red card for Josh Nasser here. He's gone. So that's going to be 20 minutes. He will be off the field. And, of course, Josh Nasser, or Dane Zander, sorry, is actually the man who's penalised. The rain is going to stop. Hopefully it does, and we do get to see some free-flowing rugby. And in the second half as well, and the rain will stop there. See, I like the positive energy of whether or not I will be able to do so. Those chairs are just so small. Like, I don't understand why they don't get some normal-sized chairs. I guess it's so that the people in the front row can see. And I was like, it's about 8 o'clock tonight. And there says Jack. And, yeah, currently they are set in local time. I think they're 7:30 in Brisbane, aren't they? If I'm not wrong, or are they at 2 hour and a half? And also the question is, will the rain stop? That is a very good question, that one. Currently 20 minutes off the field here for the number one, Dane Zander, and then they are allowed to replace him, which will then more than likely be Harry Hoffert or Fotuaika. But one of those two will probably have to come out on the field anyway. The earlier stages, by the Waratahs, the form of Will Harrison has been able to convert, and now the score is 10-all between the two sides once again. And also, Jack, are you from Brisbane? And there. And also 7:30 here, says Deegan. Okay, so it is 3 hours behind us. See, time zones suck. Not because of, like, where they are, like, what time. It's more just trying to remember when everyone changes. Daylight saving is the one that really stumps me. Like, when it changes from being a simple couple hours to then 3 hours or 2 hours. Like, we used to be the same time as Fiji, but now they're an hour behind, so it's confusing as well there. But We've got some Fijian sevens coming up very soon, which is going to be extremely exciting. That will be next weekend that we will be covering that. But now going across, will be kicked downfield from Lalakai Fakiti down to the halfway line, taken nicely by James O'Connor, 50 metres out now from the Waratahs line. Nice step there from John Campbell, almost going straight through. He's now being dragged down. I thought I heard the referee say advantage, but I don't think so. And also, are you in Brisbane? And there as well. Here's Deegan, but now going back across. Nice backline movement. Angus Blythe. In fact, it's Ryan Smith in Queensland. No daylight savings, but New South Wales, Victoria has. See, that's where it stumps me. Some areas do, some areas don't. Jack from Christchurch. There's us, says Jack. But now McDermott will be firing this ball back across. Nicely taken by Fraser McWright. It's been wrestled down now around the side here. Better draw and pass out to Dane Nasser. It's a lie. I keep on confusing those two. It's Josh Nasser. They're going back for the initial penalty. I keep on saying Josh Nasser, Dane Zander. I need to say those a few more times, but I've been saying Josh Zander, Dane Nasser, and confusing the two of them many, many times. But only one of them's out on the field at the moment. Okay, offside. It's actually going to be Jamie Roberts who was offside for that one. So out of the last 5 penalties, 4 of which have been against the Waratahs. Straight out in front. Now, no, they take the tap. And now Dane McDermott tries to go through. He's been dragged down. Great tackle there from Hugh Sinclair. Well done, card time. And there as well says Ed. Oh, sorry, red card. Yep. So it did seem, it wasn't even one that was like slipping either. It was just a stock standard red card for them. But currently the Waratahs only a couple of metres out for the line. They get the scrum feed though. Very nicely done. And also every team has won a game except for the Highlanders here. Sadly, they are still waiting. Who have they got next week, the Highlanders? I'm actually going to have a look, or have a look at who they are playing. I think there's actually only 4 games next weekend, if I'm not wrong, or are there more? Do we have 4 games next weekend, or are there a couple? Because I think the Rebels have a week off, if I'm not wrong, which I probably am. Okay, so this round we've got Moana Pacifica versus the Blues on Tuesday night. Then from there, round 7. Okay, I am very wrong. Oh, no, the Rebels do have a day off. So it is going to be 5 games next week. The week after that, it is going to be back to 7 games because they've got Tuesday's game between Moana Pacifica and the Hurricanes that they are making up for. And then the week after that, it is just going to be the 5 games again, followed by 6 games. Okay, they've actually changed that a little bit because I remember there were a couple rounds that actually only had New Zealand sides playing off. But now it looks like they've changed it so that we've got everyone, no disrespect to the Aussie teams, the Highlanders will get enough wins once they can fly over as our local time is 10:30 p.m. And then who will lead at halftime? I would say the Reds is my guess. But we have to wait and see how it does go. At 13 degrees south, a westerly wind here in Christchurch tonight. Bro says, Concept, welcome into Livestream, mate. What was the red card for? Pretty much it was, at the end, Dane Zander. He was the second tackler, and he didn't really duck down, unfortunately. So he did end up smacking it into the face of the man. And unfortunately, because of head contact, it just meant that it didn't go too well. And also, Hamish, how far is George and Isaac from your home? Can't they be all the time inside Kiwi Lads? You can partnership in Kiwi Lads and you can distribute the revenue of YouTube money. Is it possible? Unfortunately, it's not enough for one person to live off part-time, let alone 4 individuals, because Isaac's 3 hours up the road. So he's a lot further away than George and Daniel, and George also has a full-time job. Same with Daniel. So it would be great to be able to do videos full-time, but unfortunately they also have their other, working commitments that they do have. Anything can happen, Ed, but I can't forget Super Rugby Trans Tasman. And there's who got a red card for what? So it was, in the end, the number 1, Dane Zander, and it was for the shoulder charge. That's a penalty there to the Reds. Only 5 metres out. It's an easy 3 points if they do want it here 36 minutes in. Do they go for it? Danny Alatubo, he worked hard there. And also George would spend it all on KFC, probably, and he wouldn't even get that much of it. Which probably tells you guys that the revenue isn't a huge, huge number. But like I say, it's it pays for the live streaming software and the sports subscriptions most months. So, it's good overall. It's one of those ones. I didn't come into making YouTube videos thinking I would ever actually make money off it. So that's why any money that we make just goes straight back into the channel, whether it's a microphone, a bloody bucket hat. Probably shouldn't have bought 10 bucket hats. That's probably my worst YouTube purchase I've made so far. I think everything else is kind of warranted. Oh, no, my worst YouTube purchase. These. They are supposed to be pretty fancy headphones, but the microphone on the live streaming software that I use sounds like utter terribleness. If I had the little adapter, I will plug it in so you guys can hear it. In fact, I might be able to do that at halftime because I don't know how to fix it either. I think it's all to do with like little settings and whatnot, but it works well for everything other than my live streaming software. But yeah, we'll get that a go at halftime. That'll give us time because they take about 20 minutes to get back out on the field. After that, and the All Blacks Wii rugby ball was a decent investment. It was. I don't know where it's gone. I think George stole it, but now it's somewhere. Oh, Noah Quinita-Wassi's done brilliantly there to stop it from landing on the ground. Are continuing to drive their way forward here for the Queensland Reds. Now putting it up, and it is going to be kicked away there. Mum scored a carton of beer from truck, and she did. And she is very appreciative of the case of beer. That is for sure. That's the thing, $30 over here can get you a good old pack of Heinekens. Like probably, I don't know whether you get 24, but you get at least 15. That much. Currently now, I've got an All Blacks poster that I bought that I've never used, but that was part of a vlog that never got released. So I guess it's also not smart investing for that one. That vlog is a bad one. We just pretty much, we roam the streets, not really roam them, but we just go around looking for an Xbox for George. So we just do hyper random stuff. He eats McDonald's. We went to a shop and bought hyper weird stuff. Tried to buy a machete. Luckily, I convinced him that he doesn't need one. Oh, okay. Looks like we've got another TMO coming up here. I might be up against Tate McDermott for this one. Okay. Going to be checking whether or not this is in the process of making the tackle here. Oh, okay. So that's deliberate. This could be a yellow card for Tate McDermott now. 2-on-1. Okay. It's going to be the penalty, and now the Reds are playing their union, or their league, I should say. They're playing with 13 men out of the field, and also we have got there, what are the home property rates in New Zealand. In future, you want to buy some property. I don't think I'll ever be able to afford some property. The house prices are going up big time at this point in time, but maybe one day, maybe the lads, we will have to get a house together or something. And also out and about with the lads are looking for adventure. Most of those take you the places you never expected to go. And there, yeah, see, we ended up at the beach at one point, but we had a few other locations as well that we did end up going, which was fun. Overall, not too dangerous. Currently now 15-13, the Waratahs, if they get over the line here, they will actually be leading going into the second half. Anyone who's wondering what I'm doing, I'm pretty much plugging in a whole heap of little cables, getting ready for halftime as we are now at 40 minutes through this matchup. Continuing to try and roll their way forward. Charlie Gamble, I should say. Now Faulkner around the side. Hughes Sinclair. And closer. 700K. See, yeah. Like, that's tricky. Okay, they've said that that's fine. I think they've been able to almost get it over. No, it's still on the side of Faulkner. Now Pariki goes back. Edmund rushed defense on him. He got hit pretty hard. And he's asking the question of, was it high? It wasn't much better than State of Origin and League, even though the rivalry between New South Wales and Queensland transcends all sports anyways. As well, right, we're going to try something. I'm going to unplug this headset just for now. We're going to... Why can I hear the game if I unplug the headset? I don't know where that noise is coming from. Weird. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in, I don't know what one goes in what hole. Microphone. Go like that. That is the mic in. And now we're going to go like that. That is the headphone in. That's loud. Right. So pretty much we used to have a strange habit in high school of exploring abandoned buildings. And it was a rush and climbing through a window and something and exploring uncharted stuff called Ghostbusters there. And there, so pretty much I'm going to switch over to this microphone and you guys can hear how utterly bad it will sound. So what I'll do is, first of all, I will mute the game because I know that last time I tried connecting a foreign microphone, it actually played the game audio for a while. Right. So I need, what microphone is it? Is it this one or no? What here for? I don't actually know what one it is, to be honest. I think I connected it, but hello? No, it's not that one. I don't know what microphone it's supposed to be overall. No idea. This one? Hello? Hello? Is it this one? I don't know. Can you guys hear me all right, or does it sound really bad? Because if it sounds really bad, it's this one, more than likely. But we'll leave it for like 3 minutes so that I can wait till I hear the chat. You sound all right, mate. And then tips for second half game. I think that the Waratahs, with the man advantage, they're going to be dangerous, and they might be able to go on and get themselves a nice sneaky victory. Hello, Mike testing. And there as well says coding, yeah, I have to give it another test later on. But yeah, the reason I don't use this microphone is because it is very bad. Yeah. One moment. We'll go like there we go. We're going back to the main one. And also it sounds quite bad, says Sebastian. Yeah, so I have no idea why it does that for this headset, but it's supposed to be like a fancy one, and it just sounds awful. So I don't know whether or not I got a dud or whether it's just the live streaming software doesn't quite agree, because I think people, when I chat to them like in Discord and whatnot, they say, that sounds fine. But it's as soon as I go onto the live stream, for some reason, it's just a bit weird. And where did George go? The bubby, he actually went home so that he could get some sleep, because he will have to wake up nice and early tomorrow morning for a little bit of shifting cattle, I think he is doing. So that is why he's going to be up relatively early. But he should be joining me for the NRL tomorrow. Yeah, I think I got it now. The other mic was low audio quality. And there's Sammy Souza. So yeah, it's so strange how bad it sounds for such a, I guess, supposedly good headset. So that's probably my worst purchase. I feel like the bucket hats and the rugby balls and whatnot, they're fine. But yeah, that headset, it's not even that comfy. Orion Gaming and Streaming Podcast mic is different, I reckon. And there, yeah, see, I've got, you guys probably, oh no, it's stuck to the wall. But I've just got like a microphone stand up there, and it doesn't seem to go too badly. Overall, my old headset mic, for some reason, doesn't work anymore. So who do you think will finish top 8 of Super Rugby, says Aksha. So we will go on to the table here. I haven't actually updated it since the first game of the day. So what I'm thinking for myself, I'm going to say top 8 will be Brumbies, Reds, Crusaders. I know I'm just reading off them for now, but these are the sides that I would have said anyway. The Blues, I feel, will be in the top 8. The Chiefs will be there. Western Force are a 50-50 for myself at this stage. But I think the Hurricanes still make their way through. So Hurricanes, Blues, Chiefs, Crusaders, Highlanders, I think, are too far behind to be able to make their way in there. Waratahs currently are looking pretty good as well. But it's when they play up against the New Zealand sides that will kind of shape it a little bit. So I think Brumbies, Reds, Waratahs, and I'll go Western Force. So pretty much the same. In fact, that is actually the same top 8, I've just realised, as what is on there. Whoops. That wasn't what I was supposed to do for that one. But yeah, I think Moana Pacifica, they're a couple games down. So they've got a decent chance as well of making up a little bit of ground here, perhaps depending on how it goes. Also, so who's going to score the next try? I would say we're looking at a try from Tane Edmund. Not one that he's probably going to score, but I'll go with him. And so George is a farmer working with cattle. I like the Barretts themselves a little bit, yeah, at this stage. And yeah, so hopefully he comes around tomorrow afternoon. What NRL live stream will you be doing? Originally, I had the plans of the Broncos game, and then after that, we were going to be doing the next one. But if I do the Broncos, it will be solo without George, because he will be shifting cattle at that stage also. But If I look through at the NRL, one moment, go like this, and we'll go, okay, so Sea Eagles, Broncos, probably doable as well, depending on how late or how long my voice lasts as well, because I think we've got either the URC or the IPL tonight, which I'm still on the fence with of what way round I want to go. Sebastian, I'm going to ask you because you are the boss as well. You know what, Sebastian, we're on the same wavelength. He has just asked, hey, Rich, have you decided on what to stream later today? Is it URC or IPL? That's very weird timing, Sebastian, because that was literally as I was starting to explain it. What do you think? What are you thinking? I can't guarantee which way, but what way are you swaying towards? Do you think we go for an IPL on the Sport Channel, or do you think we go URC style? But URC is probably 6 hours, IPL 3.5, or somewhere around there. And then we still have the option of doing the next game of the URC, which is Bulls versus Scarlets afterwards. And Osgandra will make it to the top 8. I'd like to see them there. I think they just need a couple more big wins, though, to be able to propel them up that table just a little bit more. A couple bonus points as well wouldn't hurt too badly. But I feel that they have got the chance. I want to see either Fiji and Draw or Moana Pacifica making it through. And I think if that is the case, it will more than likely be at the extent or at the expense of the Western Force. I think will be the team that misses out, and can see why the points differential is what keeps keeping the Draw close to the top 8. And also, despite only winning one game, Moana Pacifica, on the other hand, they will have their hands full with the short tournaments in cricket and rugby, mate. And there says Danny Lewis, and also, how great was it to see Georgia? It was good. We have been catching up a little bit recently. And also, mate, at the moment, I'm just weirded out. And there's Sebastian for that one as well. And also, please, Hamish, do the opening clash of the IPL tonight. It will be good. And yeah, so that will be on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel if we do end up doing it, just because we don't know whether or not we're going to get an instant copyright strike or not. So, yeah, anyone who's not already subscribed to the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, be sure to check it out. As we have got, I guess, maybe a live stream later on tonight. Could be there. I'm going to move that because that little ghost is annoying me. There we go. That's fixed it. But currently we've got halftime. The fact that I've been able to test out a mic, work out the weekly schedule, and they're still showing the replay of the earlier stages of this half, I feel like we've still got another 5 or 10 minutes left. I could find a picture of me doing something embarrassing, but I prefer not to overall. Shouldn't have brought it up, though, should I? I'm looking at getting a new hard drive because I've run out of space. And was there a red card? There certainly was. And it was a red card to Dane Zander. Did end up getting himself penalised. So it sounds like IPL. Sounds like it might be taking priority. That's actually a big one as well, because the fact that we're on a rugby live stream and you guys are saying do IPL, I guess shows that it is quite a large game. And the URC, I'm going to keep you guys updated with it either way. And also, Drew, I do have to win more games and not just trying out players, especially with their midfielders already set. And no Sri Lankan YouTuber will be commentating for Kolkata Knight Riders versus Chennai Super Kings. They could be, is all I'm going to say. They could be. In fact, I'm going to check out and see whether or not they are. Also, we have got there, like you did in the past, because more people know about this channel. And here's what I think the IPL should bring in a bigger audience, definitely on the sport channel, just to avoid any strike concerns. But I recommend advertising the stream on the main channel as well. Says Sebastian. Oh, so you're thinking like a YouTube community tab. See, Sebastian, you're up there. You know? I can't even remember what the person's channel was called. What was their channel? I can't actually remember what the channel's name was that copyright struck us. No, I haven't got it. And also, is there a good technology shop in your hometown? Hometown? There is not. And what was it for? For the IPL or the URC later on tonight? And also, do have to win more games and not just trying out players, especially when their midfield is already set, says Sammy Souza there. And also, we have got there, do you do live commentary? And there, so it will be on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. But if you're talking about whereabouts in my house, it is in my lounge. I can't think of what the channel's name was, and it's really going to annoy me. One moment, I'll be able to work it out because I'll just look up Cricket World Cup. No, not that. One moment. Where are they? I haven't found them yet. If they got their channel, surely they haven't got their channel taken down. I would actually kind of laugh a little bit. I can't find them. And I can't remember the name either. And also, Let's Rugby Championship, and there says Lottie, and also my concern is the BCI or Tata to strike the stream. They just see Kolkata Knight Riders and Chennai Super Kings live stream and assume that you actually show them footage without even checking your stream in there as well. Yeah, so I think that's why the Kiwi Lads Sport would be the way to go, because, I mean, we've learned our lesson from the Cricket World Cup that it doesn't take a lot for them to just go, you know what, see you later, which is pretty brutal. And for that reason, I recommend, I read that one, and Kandrua beat the Waratahs next week. It's going to be a close game. But I like the Drua. I feel like they're doing all right. I think I'm not allowed to say, what your I'm Jan is, what are you saying? That's his daddy. Well, that one, I mean, you can say it if you do want to. Well, that one, I'm still looking through. I cannot find the World Cup on their channel, and I cannot remember what their channel was called. No, I can't remember. Which is weird. And also we've got there, what was the red card for? So pretty much it was for the shoulder charge going up just a little bit high. And also we've got there, I bet if you do an IPL match, your live matching will break record, reach up to 500 live, as Indian viewers will come in big numbers. And the next 3 months for your channel to grow up to 50K subscribers there. It'd be insane, that is for sure. And also we've got there 200 live streams, commentary channels go on YouTube and IPL matches. I bet if you did IPL, your live will break record. 500 as Indian viewers will come in big numbers, says Coding. So I guess, yeah, we'll have to give it a crack, see how it does end up going. But the big thing is, I found their channel. Never mind. I remember what their name is now. So they are still about. One moment. We'll go like that. Are they doing the IPL? Okay, doesn't look like it. So that's all right. But it could be someone else. And review record. And there, so yeah, pretty much Dane Zander was a bit unfortunate because he went a little bit too high when it was in the, I guess it was a weird moment because unfortunately the tackle had already been made and viewers were also coming to spam. And then also the love flooding chat says, Jay, and also, Wamini, can I have $1 please for your, or from your council for promoting your hometown? Cheers. Jay, as you're right, some do, and most of them are good. And there as well says Coding. So I guess that's the thing. We'll have to make sure that we still have our moderators on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel as well, which I think we do to a majority. But yeah, if we do end up doing the IPL, be sure to come check us out on there as well. I feel like that's the thing. For the starting few games, I'll have no idea who some of the players are, but it will be with you guys in the chat that just make it fly by as well. And also, of course, the Drua can beat the Tars. Problem is they need to be ready to play right from the first kickoff and not in the last couple of minutes of the game. Exactly right. And just say the word, Hamish, and me and Jay, we go slap them up, says David. Now, they're doing quite well at the moment, and some of these rules are they adding a complete so where we touch, so turning soft and be right back. And there, most of them spam, some of them are okay. And there, says Jay. So I don't know whether that be right back straight after David has said we'll go and slap them up concerns me, but I think it's just the timing. 6 Kiwis will be in action, especially Devon Conway, Mitchell Stanton, Southey, and Milne. And the big thing I think is going to be what to do for the thumbnail. Because I looked last night, I was like, can I find any pictures of players? And all of them are just like tiny. For some reason, any picture of a player from the IPL is like this big. And I was like, if I make a thumbnail that is this big, it's going to be so blurry. So I don't know. Oh, no. There we go. I fixed it. And also, when is the IPL? It is going to be at 3 a.m. tonight, New Zealand time. And also, I'm off for you on my phone and keep an eye on England on the laptop. But I'll be there definitely. Oh, you just remind me, I can put the England versus West Indies game up on the screen and also have the URC on the other one. And do I need to utilize forward structure more without changing anything in the backline attacks as well as get passes sticking instead of losing the ball, in my opinion, as well. Yeah, it's just something's close for the draw. Like, I'm liking what I'm seeing. There's just also little chinks in the armor that they do need to kind of smoothen out. And then after they do that, they'll be dangerous. And the competition in the chat section will require modification or moderation, that's for sure. Certainly will. I bet you we do it and we get like 2 people watching and we'll be like, this was one of the most chilled out live streams. But that's the thing. Sometimes those are the ones that are more fun because we just talk about random stuff. Like, it's weird. It's very weird because sometimes I prefer live streams that have 10 people than a few hundred, which sounds very weird. And how could you be awake at 3 a.m. for IBL? Don't you? We'll be sleeping. Nah, we're going to be up for it. First game of the season, rematch of the final. We're going to do it. as well. But now on the outside, Nawa Kwanitawasi tries to link up. The ball has almost gone into Touchy's hands. And I'll try back, but probably sleep on job in there, says Patty. That's no worries. 3 a.m. is a sucky time. Tomorrow night, 11 a.m., 11 p.m., little bit better for us Kiwis. Now breaking his way forward, Nawa Kwanitawasi. Looking very strong. Got a couple of steps and then just a half hand on the ball there for young Jock Campbell to be able to cut it off. In fact, that might have not been Jock Campbell. That was Josh Fluke. I keep on confusing those two as well. They're very similar in that regard. And also Bangladesh for South Africa test the first test is 31st of March to the 4th of April. So hopefully we can cover some of that on the channel as well. If not, at least one session a day will be hopefully covered on this channel. Now Tane Edmund trying to go for the draw and pass, not quite working out for him. Now looking to the short side. Instead decides to go away to the right. Faulkner driven backwards in the tackle by Big Taniela, Tupou, Tongan, Thor. Unable to get out of the way for that one, but no advantage against him. Pareki goes back across. This is looking good for the Waratahs. First attack and play of this half, and it could be the try scorer one. Nawa Kwanitawasi. Did he get it down? He might have just been pushed into touch, though. Brilliantly done. I think he's hurt himself, though. I think he just did a massive dive. I think he might have broken a rib, or he's injured of some other situation. Maybe just winded. On-field decision, no try, and it's going to be a busy late night of sports right until morning as usual for good old Hamish, says Savvy. So it certainly will be. Oh, no. His foot is down, so just misses out. Nawa Kwanitawasi. You have to wonder how far could he have gone in and give score. We'll be right for the cricket. And there's Lottie. Is that for the IPL game in terms of who will be winning it? Do let me know. And also, damn, not the wig. There's you got to hate when your wig falls off while you're playing rugby. Okay, he went down. It's going to be a 5-meter line out now in favour of the Reds, but they are still down to 13 men on the field, same as their points on the board here. Also, will you ever do commentary for must-see fights in WrestleMania, Lesnar versus Reigns and Stone Cold Beer segment with Owens? And there's Ozzy's coding. I could give it a look. I know that's mid-April, isn't it? So it kind of just depends on what overlaps with it. And I just Royals. And there's Lottie Smith. But I'm looking forward to seeing. I guess that's the other side of it. I kind of have spent the last year, similar to what I did for rugby for the first year, just studying up on a whole heap of new players. And now I'll get to see them all in action for the IPO. Now, Nawa Kwanitawasi does nicely once again. It's a knock-on, though. Or is it? Yes, it is. So just a little knock-on in the scrum feed here will be going the way of the Queensland Reds. Geez, they've started this match quickly for the second half. Only 3 minutes in, and I feel like we've had about as much running meters as some halves have in one full half, if not maybe even the whole game. And Nawa Kwanitawasi. Was he the one that I said to watch out for, or did I say someone else? I think I said him and also Alex Newsom out on the wings. No, Hamish, it will be chilled out live stream for the best cricket competition out there. First game of the season, the resurrection of the final. It will be mental, but I promise to be there. And yeah, it won't be a chilled out live stream. Although the thing is, the benefit of it, if it is kind of quieter, is because more than likely there's like 100, 500, 1,000 people doing the commentary for it. So overall, I guess we'll just get a slither of the action. I feel like I'm jinxing myself, aren't I? And we're going to have like 1,000 would be too many for the sport. And lay down the law, says Sebastian. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The goal for the Kiwi Sport channel is 1,000 subscribers, and we're slowly getting there. Already up to 700 and almost 60, I think. So hopefully by a couple weeks into the IPL, we can manage to get ourselves up to that 1,000, just because it would be a pretty awesome milestone to be able to have. I think Daniela Tupou had some gum in his mouth. He took it out, took the grass off the gum, and then put it back in his mouth. Speaking of rugby laws, adopting rugby league laws is definitely an idea doomed to fail. Yeah, I feel like the 50-22, I know some people like it, some people hate it. Goal line dropouts as well. I think the big thing there with the held up, when you end up, rather than being 5-meter scrum trying to go on the attack again, you have to go way back to where pretty much 40 meters out or so. Now going back across to Grant. Nice little pop pass up to Jeff Cridge. Going back across one more time. Tane Ahmed Now almost intercepted, but now it's looking good down the wing. Alex Newsom, no, in fact, it's Faketi. Gets wrestled almost into touch. He's managed to stay in the field of play. Newsom offloads it to Sinclair. He's dropped it that time, and I think it also did end up going into touch initially. And also, people will look for an English-speaking commentator. There'll be plenty streaming in Hindi or Urdu, but not English. And Sebastian, so we might. Do I put English in the title? English live commentary? Or live commentary in English or something like that? Would you recommend doing that? Or do you think just stick to what it is? They didn't have to fix the scrum, resetting it as making the game too long. So here's Danny Lewis, and I was a cool man. And Tongan Thor, yeah, he's a beast of an individual, that man, Teni Alatupo. The Waratahs looking for the 3 points here. Okay, advancing before he got put on side. There's the goal there, but yeah, I agree with the scrum resets. Like, it should be one scrum reset and that's it. Next time it's a foul against someone, because or else then sometimes you spend about, I know one game had 15 minutes of scrum resets, which is just like, that's a lot of time that you could have had people run around out on the field. But now Tane Edmund lining it up, specify the English commentary in the title, definitely. Sebastian, I feel like, Sebastian, you are starting to get yourself towards a marketing manager role. I feel like you know what you're talking about overall. And also, league rules might work for Aussie Union fans. It's not going to work too well elsewhere. See, it's a weird one, isn't it? For like the Six Nations or something, having it that there's goal line dropouts. 50-22s, I think, kind of like the Northern Hemisphere. I think they've adapted to that pretty quick. But it's that goal line dropout of when you've just got big beasts running at the line. Yes, they get held up, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now you're going way back there. And I was like, they should do league scrums. But then the props will get angry because the scrum is their craft as well. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Oh, Teni Alatupo, they thought he was going to be kicking off for that one. But yeah, you still need something for the scrums. Like maybe if you have a scrum reset, then it's uncontested for the second one. But you got to find a way of stopping teams from milking it. So I think great point, Sebastian Amish, for YouTube SEO. But title as Calcutta Knight Riders. There's a Chennai Super Kings commentary and Hindu by Kiwi. And a commentary just speaks some Hindu words. I just learned Hindi. It's just easy. And this is coding. So do I put the full team names or do I put the shortened like initials? So do you put Kolkata Knight Riders or do you put KKR? That's another question. I have no idea how to title this live stream, to be honest. And that's it, which is why RA is full of a crap for coming up with such silly ideas from league into union. Here's Sammy Souza. Currently now throwing this one into the front. Dane Zandy's at it stolen. That's not ideal. That's not what he would have wanted. And now backline movement here. It's an awkward one for the Waratahs. Jamie Roberts has a bit of a juggle. Now off to Faketi. KKR says Lottie Smith for that one. Good run forward from Faketi. Finds the offload. And now kicks it down the field just a little bit further. Chasing hard after this one. Jordan Pattaya gets it though. He probably needs to kick this and he does just that. So way downfield. Oh, geez, there's some space back there. Gets the right bounce. I was going to say it could almost be. And then also don't abbreviate the Kolkata cricket team can be deemed racist as well. So KKR, is that not got in KKR? Will we find his viewers know CSK has a massive fan following as it is MS Dhoni's team. Oh, I see you're going to stream the OTL or the IPL. I see you're going to stream the IPL me. And there says, David, are you going to be keen for an IPL live stream, David? If you don't want to stay up till 3 a.m., that's completely understandable. But yeah, it's going to be on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. And also you can understand why RA want to do it. It gets crossover fans, but it's just stupid. And KKR not okay. Yeah. That was a good lead drive from Faketi. And that one just manages to get onto the ball, Jordan Pattaya, but it was not going to be a very easy one for him to line up. Nicely lined up there. And the line out, though, sits up for Edmund. Currently, the Waratahs, they've got the two-man advantage. They're playing like a soda was starting to get a little bit more space. Faketi trying to go straight through. A couple little goose steps. Moves his way up to the halfway line. I was RB Mods on that channel. I think so. And if you're not, I will definitely make sure that you are. Because, you guys are mods on the gaming channel, aren't you, I think? Maybe. So, yeah, as soon as, you type a message, I just make you a mod on there just to save any issues. of working it out, because I don't think we haven't really done too many on the sport channel recently, have we? Other than the NRL and Super Rugby Aupiki, which we did end up doing the one game to test whether or not anything would get taken down. It's a good counter ruck here from the Waratahs. It's like it's still going to be just available for them. I'll tell you what, we're going to be rolling the ball back quite nicely. I'm pretty sure I am on the sports channel. I think David might be as well. I think it was it Paddy who wasn't a moderator because he came a little bit later in the moderator system. So I think it was that last time we were on there. Before that, he hadn't actually been a moderator up to that point or something. They didn't realize there will be backlash for trying to adapt league laws. And they're good kicking behind here. It's going close to the touchline. Just shepherds it out there for the youngster. And it is a good kick in behind from Alex Newsom. The Reds are really getting trapped just outside from their own area. It looks like Nawakwa Nitawasi, he's either got a little bit of cramp or something more serious in that leg. So yes, that's right. And there says David the Mod. Because the cool thing is there are quite a few Kiwis in there. Are you going to start an alcohol fund for George or not? And now, I mean, we already got a $3 donation earlier on to go towards one beverage for his birthday. It's quite nice. And I was like, yo, and there's Benny Wagon. Welcome in, mate. Once again. But yeah, you'll know this better than me, Paddy. You're not a moderator on the sport channel, are you, as of yet? Maybe. Maybe not. Can I see you? Oh, no, I can't do it right now because I'm on the other live streaming, aren't I? I was going to say I'll just quickly check, but then I realized that will probably crash the live stream. So it might not be the best idea just as of yet. Now Faulkner making his way off the field. 30 minutes to go between these two sides. Going to be taken very nicely by Ryan Smith. Fraser back right. Going off to Harry Wilson. The big crash ball. And number 8. Well, this going, no, not yet. So yeah, we will have to make sure that we do that for the later stages as well. Definitely if the spam is as bad as that could be, because 100% normally love spamming the BBL ones. Perhaps he spams the IPL as well there. But Harry Johnson-Holmes, he's out on the field. Actually a late change. He was going to be in the starting lineup at 3, but then from there, it did end up getting switched around. And also you should get sponsored by the Waimea Beer Company. Can promote your local brew to the world? I don't think we got one. We had a winery, but I don't think that's still up and running. At this stage, and who's going to win, Hamish? Who looks like the better team? I would say the Waratahs, but at this stage now, the Reds are back to 15 players. It's a good fin, though. Dave Parecki just knocking over James O'Connor. I love bots. I'll be so happy. And there's it's a drop ball from Jeff Cridge. Now popping back up for the Reds. Tate McDermott going across to Hunter Paisami. You haven't really seen him in a lot of space throughout this match. Tries to carve on the inside, drag down nicely, though, to number 13. And have you decided on the IPL or the URC? I believe we are doing the IPL. But then after that, we are going to be popping over to the – what are we going to be doing? It is going to be the IPL, but then we might be doing the URC. And I was looking at that, Hamish, can I recommend making coding a mod on the sport channel? We'll need a Hindi-speaking mod there. And I think we grew to trust coding. He's been here for a long time. That is true. As our coding, I assume you do speak frequent Hindi. First of all, would probably be the first question to ask. And that one, because I think you've translated a couple messages in the past, haven't you, for us? And you are on a majority of the cricket live streams. So I feel like that would be ideal. Now kicking up for the touchline. That's not finding touch from James O'Connor. Yes, it is. Oh, that's a good kick. Brilliant kick. Just finding touch. About 15 metres out from the line now. And also agreed, says David the Mod, for that one. Yeah, I feel like it's a safe option, isn't it? Just so that if someone's swearing at us in Hindi, we realise that they are swearing at us in Hindi. Which will be fun. Or we get sworn at him. I think I've been sworn at in about 10 different languages, and I feel like that's kind of, it's bad, but it's also cool at the same time. Just because it's the internet, isn't it? Now Saru goes back to Fraser McRae, Hunter Paisami. Another good carry forward now for himself. Barry Ross to Tate McDermott. And also, how do I subscribe? And there says Jack. So it is the red button down below that you will be able to press, and that will get you subscribed to the channel and also give you some kind of notifications. I think you can also select it. And also, as a neutral Crusaders fan, I usually go for the Reds over the Waratahs for obvious reasons, since New South Wales has craptastic officials at RA there in Queensland, better players, and there red button in there. Well, what languages have you been sworn out? I've been sworn out in pretty much all the island languages, such as Tongan, Samoan, Fiji, and you name it. English. Another one, South African or Afrikaan. I've been sworn out. That's Daniela Tupou over the line. Any idea when Fulivali was back? Hopefully soon. He's been missing for a while, but Daniela Tupou scores the try there. And that is a big one. And there we go. One moment, we'll go like this. And we'll go like this. But big Tongan Thor, Daniel Atupo does end up scoring. I almost put the full name there. I got a bit excited. Tongan Thor strikes again. He's just strong, isn't he? Goes over the line for fun and does give the Reds just a bit more of a lead now in this fixture as well. We've also got there, can I please become a mod? Although the only problem with that is I can just unblock him after. And also, should I add another one to the list? And there says Danny for that one. Maybe. Or maybe not, actually. It's probably best to have them slowly. And or you just know when you're having a go at you and Afrikaans in it. As well, yeah, I think there's a 4-letter word that has a P in it and also OES or something like that. And it's like, yep, that's the start of it. And then all of a sudden it gets just worse and worse. I don't think we've been sworn at in what other languages have we had? I've had a couple of people who have just done it in creative ways, as in like putting a random letter in the middle so it doesn't get taken out by like people, I guess you could say. And also sometimes I wonder if Mr. Squirrel was trying to say something constructive. So do I. He actually, or who was it on one of those BBL live streams that actually nailed, that's giving me an idea. Do we bring back the predictions for the IPL, ladies and gentlemen? Do you want to have a competition that we do like predictions of what the score will be? The B word is the equivalent of the C word. I know that as well, says Sebastian. So yeah, a nice one to say. Someone who's doing some commentary, and I'm not surprised to get you get sworn at in foreign languages, especially when the cricket is on from angrily trolling Indians. And also, I've been here for so long. Can you consider me as a mod too in the future? I think so. I think you have been around for quite a while. I know that it's probably maybe considered not controversial, but just more along the lines of, I guess, because you've had a couple of rows with a few people in the chat, maybe it would make some people angry. But you have been here for a very long time, that's for sure. And as I better say, I'm messing with you, called you. I don't know whether I've been called that, but I actually got a message with a donation that I read the whole message out. And then they're like, hey, I just made you say every Tongan swear word. And I was like, whoops. And Jay should be a mob, baby. I think he turned it down earlier on just because he was saying how he would prefer to just chill out. The question is, could you handle 300 or more predictions all on the stretch? Oh, yeah, that's actually true, isn't it? The early one wouldn't be too bad. Nicely taken there by Jordan Patai. So I guess that's even more reason to be here early for the first one, because it's when you don't really end up with too much competition. 300 is a lot, isn't it? Even like 50 would be huge. I'd have to just click, click, click. And it would be adding them up. That's the tricky part, I think. And also we have got there, yes, please, that would be amazing. I went to international school, so I learned swear words from many languages. It's cool. I learned swear words when you are 12. And there says Danny, also those predictions that got a bit complicated. They did, didn't they? How do we do it? Maybe it's just the first, like the closest person. You don't get runner-up ones. Maybe just whoever gets it closest gets the point. Just so that we're only writing one name on the list each week. Do you think that would be a better idea? That would be awesome. And bring back the cricket prediction, please. And I was like, would you like to be a moderator for the IPL streams, mate? The amount of viewers that competition attracts is overwhelming. And yeah, we still got a coding in the chat. I think he might have possibly left. He'll be back for the IPL though, so we can probably ask him then. And then we'll have about 50 other people if we do have a busy live stream saying, can I also be mod? A good take and run there from Jamie Roberts. The Waratahs, they are still sitting inside of the 22, continuing to build their way forward. A scrap prediction for the IPL, to be honest. Yeah. The only way to do it would be one person's the winner. But then even that's tricky enough, isn't it? Definitely, actually, first innings, I feel like you could do it for how many the first team's getting, but not second innings, because then it goes down to how many balls are going to be left and whatnot. That's dropped there by the Waratahs. So I feel like it's pretty much, I guess, if we had a cheesecake, no, not cheesecake. If I had a juice, that's my juice. It's a weird sentence. This is my baby. This would be a good example, seeing as I have got a cup. Pretty much, this is my BBL ones. And I'm just putting some more water in it to water it down to just 1 point per live stream. And also, you need to be database expert to keep tab on that amount of predictions, says Sebastian. That is true. It's going to be hectic. Although we did India versus New Zealand on that channel for one of the T20s, and it's got, I think, 600 views, so it could be close to that. Maybe. Don't know. I don't know what to expect, to be honest. We haven't done the IPL before. We've done the BBL, but that was on this channel. So I have no idea how it's going to go. It could have 3 people watching. It could have 100. It could have 10. I'm expecting somewhere around 10. I was like, why are you missing my comment? Just because there are that many. Rain has stopped in there, says Jack. But yeah, I do try my best to read all the comments, but I also do need to say a few other words in between as well. Conflict here. I like the Reds, but Jamie Roberts, the God, plays for the Tars. And there's Flesh in there. And also, I always thought, you need another Northern Hemisphere mod because most times it's just Katie and Seb. 3 in the morning, says David. Although I guess one benefit we have got is like 3 in the morning, worst comes to worst, I can also time out individuals. I probably am too nice though, because I end up timing out people rather than blocking them, even if they like call me the most offensive terms. Oh, that's a good thing. Kiwi lads has a tolerant for being sworn at in different languages. Otherwise, he would have blocked those people in the chat. That's the thing though. Sometimes people, it's weird. Some of the nicest people we've had on the channel started off hating us. If that makes sense. Like I remember being sworn at by someone who literally said F off skinny head. Then the next live stream that they were on, or the next 5 or so, about 6 months later, they were like, hey, I hope you're doing well. And whatnot, loving the commentary. And I was like, I remember you. Like, I feel like my good memory is a downfall for some people who think that they get away with like putting a message ages ago and I just forget it type thing. Like I do normally remember quite a bit. I had an Indian quarter in my mum's basement, says Sebastian. We'll get pretty full. You might have to extend it. And I was like, what are the chances of getting a strike because of the IPL? Probably at this stage, honestly, probably around, I'm going to say 40%, somewhere around there. And I know that sounds quite high, but it's all done with name and whatnot. Like, I don't think it will be a manual strike from someone. It's going to get what an insult as well. And the thing is, he's not wrong. Like, I try and, like, these headphones, they can't go any thinner, and it's still too big for my head. So I feel like it's weird. Is it good or bad? I think I sent back one saying that it's just better for aerodynamics, and then that was it. They didn't reply. Currently now, James O'Connor on the halfway line, going to be kicking this one for the touchline. Oh, he tries it. Oh, he's done it again. No, he hasn't. That one's gone out 5 meters out from the line. Newsom right at the end. And also we've got the Hamish and George. Look at this comparison. Different headsets as well, wasn't it? And Ajax 5 minutes ago, I had a poo. And this is Jay. Is that why you said be right back? Oh, no, that was a bit earlier on, wasn't it? Also, there's a party next door, says Jack. And that one as well. Don't get invited to too many parties. Probably last time I was at a party, I had a hammer. And I actually showed you guys that picture as well from ages ago. Me holding a hammer, and the ladies were loving it. Like, there's just a random hand grabbing at me. But that was, like, I know who it was. So it's all good. Currently now, Liam Wright goes back to Suru. Yeah, continuing to drive his way forward just a little bit further. And I hope you're well, says 11J said. I am indeed, mate. And hope you are excited for the URC coming up a little bit later on. That's a massive bomb there from James O'Connor. And I had a phone call when I said that. And also, Hamish, have you been sworn out an Australian yet? I mean, it's a good question. How Australian we talking? Are we talking like the full-on, like, mate, you're an absolute, like, few words? Normally, if you don't use a C word in Australia, but that's the thing. Some Australian use it as if it was like, mate. Like, I can't say the word, of course, but I also showed up to a buddy with hammer, your honour. As the hammer was already at the ground, at the place. And I just ended up just holding on to it. Overall, it became my friend. And then we played the hammer throw in the backyard, and Bogan Strayan in there as well. Says that JA's for that one as well. But yeah, I've got the picture somewhere in my phone, although it was probably like years ago. Hang on, George is going to save me here, because I remember George sent it to me on my birthday. So that makes sense, because now I can go to months and find December. And also, I don't even know what a British swear word is. What hammer are you referring to? Especially if it made the girls excited. No, it wasn't anything too crazy. Just literally a hammer, which does sound crazy. I'll see if I can find the picture while we are waiting for this line out throw. But Isaac Henry now out on field, definitely looking to all games, or looking forward to all games later on. Hope all the South African teams get the win as well. And they should have a decent chance, I would think. They're looking pretty strong recently. Now, Be going forward just a little bit more for the Reds. Isaac Henry. Found a random picture of me with a mustache. That's not it. Because when did I have a mustache? Like just a mustache with shortish hair. Now McDermott charging his way forward quite nicely. Closer and closer to the line. We have got there. My eyes are blue. And then your birthday is in December. It certainly is. The C word is used as a term of endearment up here as well. Yeah, people are weird, aren't they? And also I have 2 feet. And then also the C word in New Zealand, Aussie, and UK as term of endearment has different connotations in the US. And there's a popular Aussie word would be count when you remove the letter O from that word. It certainly would be. But 5 meters out here, getting yellow Tupou getting close, or there is just a warning that a noun is on its way. Pretty much. I mean, George got caught out a couple of times earlier on. Harry Wilson tries to get back up to his feet. And I've been wrestled down here closer and closer. And also we have got there, I always keep my mates with Hayden. And there, Daniela Tupou. Oh, I think he was short there. He's trying to creep his way forward. Passes the ball back across. Now Fraser McWright drops down. That looks like it's on the line. And Fraser McWright does end up scoring the try. There we go. And that's going to be Mick Wright. There we go. Mick Fright? No, Mick Wright. Fraser McWright. Mick Wright. Mick Wright. There we go. He did score it in the not 65th minute. We're up to 70. Or are we? I thought we were up to 70, but we'll go 65. We'll go like that. We will go like that. And we will go like that as well. That was a try, and that's the Aussie way. Trucking as well. I'm fighting back hiccups at the moment. And also I predicted the Reds to win in there as well. So they did do very nicely for themselves. And that one, I can't find my picture of me with my hammer, which is quite sad. I think it was actually before the days of YouTube. So that's probably where the difference is. I have some weird pictures. Like not weird as in weird, but just weird as in what was I thinking. It was a Reds pulling away there and someone nicked your space button, Jack. And I was like, oh, yeah, they did steal it, didn't they? And I actually thought you had a 7-second button in case people swear, just like radio stations. Nah, nothing along those lines. If George swears, he catches me out every time. But it's also quite funny because he just like, he does it without thinking that he's doing it as well. And I feel like that is one of the parts that does make it just that little bit funny as well. I don't think I've got that picture of me with my hammer anymore. But I found it the other day, so surely I do. Oh, I might have found it. Maybe. No, I haven't found it. Okay, it's missing. Also, what happened in there? And 22-18, Titans up by 4 bit plays. So this thing is as well. And Reds pulling away. They certainly are. Now, at the moment, 13 minutes left in this game. I predict every Super Rugby game. And there says Jack. Sinclair goes back, intercepted. And this is going to be a runaway try for the Reds. And that is certainly going to be the nail in the coffin. And someone nicked my space button. As on there says, Jack, I'm confused. So that is going to be the try. And it's a brilliant one. And that one secures the win for them. And I believe it was number 14, Jock Campbell, was able to get himself over the line. Well, that was fast. Just literally straight afterwards, they were like, you know what, that'll do. We get ourselves another one. And Jock Campbell scores it off the interception. And also based on the origin and meaning, the C word, definitely a no-no. And then are you going to actually show us a picture of, are you holding the hammer? The hammer brace children. Yep, might do, if I can find it. It's disappeared, though. For some reason, I don't know what year George sent it to me. But somewhere in there. Albums? No, we just want the pictures, thank you. Well, it will be a screen. No, it won't be a screenshot. I don't know. I'll just scroll way down on my phone. This looks really bad. So I might do it up here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Or else then it will look quite dodgy. I don't know how far back it will be, though. I think it would be before. Hey, that's the 2020 IPL information, or 2021, I think it was. I have a picture of loaf of bread. It's fun. Now, Isaac Henry Lining it up, strikes it straight down the middle, no problem at all there. And also my Barocca today, or my Barocca Tasty. What flavour have you got? Have you got the orange one, or is it a different flavour that you decided to mix it up a little bit in that regard? Do let me know. I'm curious. A moment, we're going there. Currently now, and the ball up very nicely there. Still on the side of the Waratahs, and they need another try extremely soon. I feel like I could be scrolling through my phone all day to try and find it, couldn't I? I'm only in November. I know that it was on my birthday that George sent me the photo. But I don't know. I was about to say I don't know when my birthday was, but I know when my birthday was. It's just I don't know when I took the photo. And as I got promoted from I want to a hammer, it's nice that when they grow in there as well. Currently now still going to be available here for the Waratahs. 10 minutes left. It's not actually, he's not 22. Berry flavor. Berry is nice. Berry is good. I like you made a smart decision in that regard. Currently now overrunning that one just a little bit. I don't think I have a picture of me with my hammer, which is very sad. But that's all right. Currently now Roberts, he's still got that one. The bonus point in favour of the Reds. In 1999 I was born. So that's actually similar to myself. Now, once again, recycling that one quickly. Wilson passes on the outside. Emma goes off to Will Harris, who really hasn't had the best game overall. It doesn't seem, and also McColton Dry Tasty. Good choice of a beverage. Is Colton Dry expensive over there, Trucking, or is it kind of like a mid-tier beer for price-wise? That's going to be the penalty there. Not releasing. That gets them in a bit of trouble there. And the Reds, once again, keep on going. Anyone know if the G-Man rumour is true? I can't find anything to confirm it. What's the G-Man rumour, Fabicon? I don't actually know of this rumour. Which one is it? Do let me know. I don't really have any communication with them at this stage. I know that the Rugby Guru, I think, talks to him a little bit because they have done a collaboration in the past before, as we haven't actually done one ourselves. And also, is the score correct, Hamish? It's not. It is not. Okay, there we go. And it's also Gareth Mason has died, apparently, rugby YouTuber. I had not heard that. Do you know how? If it was the case, hopefully he is all right. Overall, but yeah, whereabouts was that going around, Fabicon? And WDF know that cannot be true. And 55 card of 24. Geez, that sounds relatively high priced. I guess somewhere mid-tier. There in the beer world. Currently now, they are sitting with a nice offload. McDermott juggles, though. It's just going a little bit wrong for them. And also, we got that as the Reds, Brad Thorne. And very sad. Says, Lemon J said it OL because he's been quiet. And then, you better not be shitting us, mate. And then BS Rugby made a video post and another random's a G-Man. It's BS. One moment. I'm going to have to look at this. I think BS is Brandon Smith, isn't it? Maybe. Wow. Okay, that's happened. That's pretty significant news for today. Do you know how he passed away? So I guess that is, I mean, if they've posted about it, I would think maybe it's either a family one or someone along those lines has probably posted about it as well. And also, my smokes are 49 a packet of 30 cigarettes. And also, who's the Reds coach? It is Brad Thorne for this game as well. Currently now about to feed this ball in for the replacement there, Teddy Wilson. Geez, that's not good. No idea. That's what I'm trying to find out in there. Says Fabakan. Currently now. Okay, Nick Berry just saying about them not quite maintaining their height. 7 minutes left here. Bloody hell, mate. That is rough news. It is. Like, that's the thing. There's not a lot of rugby YouTubers at the moment. And, like, that's the thing. I feel like it's quite a close-knit community for that. So I haven't actually heard anything from the Guru at this stage, but I might send him a message after the live stream just to see how he's going. We're all seeing as he has done videos with him in the past as well. Currently now going to be feeding in this ball for the Waratahs. I'm trying to figure out that rumor about G-Man after hearing about it. Says Sammy Souza. So I guess it's probably the case of where did it come from for a start. type thing is probably the big one. Now passing the ball back across Charlie Gamble. Get another carry forward. The Waratahs, they are still trying to shut down that bonus point. It just doesn't seem like it's quite working out. Now it's going to be the draw and pass short ball there. Well, in fact, no, sorry, short ball. That's cricket terms. High tackle is what I was meaning. That one, and Nick Berry has blown the penalty against Sururu. Currently 74 minutes through this match. Okay, they've said this stadium was actually underwater 20 minutes before kickoff, which is pretty significant, I guess you could say there. Don't know. I'll have to look into it. I'm a mod on his channel. It was okay 4 days ago, but very down. I've not heard anything since. And then also we have got there, and are you a YouTuber? I do all sorts of sports. I started off as a rugby YouTuber though, so I guess that's kind of where I fall into for now, but we have kind of branched out. It was on Facebook. Here's 11J said there. Was it on his Facebook page or someone else's? And Brandon wouldn't post that without some sort of proof. You must have had it from another YouTuber. And there says Fawakamba, that one is going along now with the bounce. Setting up nicely for Fraser McWright. Harry Wilson just sells the dummy, decides instead to give it off to Tate McDermott. Hunter Paisami kicks the ball high and does get it down into touch. Not taken quickly by Newsom. And at least I know G-Man is about the same age as me, roughly, since he mentioned being born in 1991. And in one of his videos, says Sammy Souza there as well. And also, how many points will Reds get? If they do keep the bonus point, they will get 5 at this stage. So they're still sitting relatively nicely for themselves, but they do need a little bit more, maybe just to confirm that win. If they get another try, they'll be set and sorted for it. But now going back across, Jamie Roberts pops the ball up, flat ball to, it was the number 23, Tristan Riley. Not too many opportunities for him so far throughout Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. I almost called it, but Super Rugby Pacific now. Jamie Roberts passes the ball back across. I think it's the draw and pass, getting the timing right here for the Waratahs that they have been struggling with just a little bit throughout this game. Passing the ball back, Fortuaker running backwards. He does end up getting penalised and also gets his ankle crushed as well. In the process now, Tane Emmett puts a chip in behind, waiting for the bounce. It sits up nicely here for the number 22, Dylan Pitch, to start the last match for himself. Now coming off the bench in this one, now trying to pierce the gap. Tane Emmett doesn't get it, and it's going back for the penalty now. Now going back for the initial penalty. The Waratahs, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so if they get one more here for the Waratahs, a try that will end up cancelling out any chance of the bonus point, definitely with only 3.5 minutes left at this point in time. He's got it into touch, 5 metres out from the line. This is a perfect place for the Waratahs to be able to drive their way forward. Hamish, is the hoodie you are wearing a new pictures from Hallensteins? It is not. It is one of my old ones that is just a little bit different than the other ones that I have got. But this is one of my original 4 hoodies. I think I got 4. I got 2 of the same, which you guys see quite often, the one that's kind of the green or so. And then after that, I have got this one and then also an all black one. It hasn't been confirmed. Gareth Mason has passed. I actually subscribed to him before Kiwi Lads, but he drank too much. And then there it says David the Mod. I'm still trying to find whether or not that is the case. So if it is, by the looks of it, it is though, from what I've seen. And that's going to be the try for the Waratahs for that one. Who was it? Oh, it's Harry Johnson Holmes. Or is it? Who's got the ball? It sounded like I was a dog there. And also, man, that is sad to hear about G-Man. It is indeed still a young man in that regard. And also talk about hitting a snag from the Waratahs after that strong early start to the season. And damn, it seems true. There's Flesh in there as well. Currently, they ended up rolling their way around here. Who had the ball in the end? Can't work it out. I think it was at the back. Then Harry Johnson Holmes, he didn't rejoin it. Just wait and went. Okay, so it was the number 16, Tom Horton, who did manage to get himself over the line for the Waratahs. And that cancels out the bonus point just for now. 78 minutes. They might be able to look at closing out the clock here without any issues for them, although they've still got a minute and a half, so I assume they will have to take the kick there as well. Currently now a minute and a half left. Strikes it nicely and just sneaks it over there as well. Waratahs have a losing bonus point for now. And there says Jack. Although they're still 12 points behind, so they do need one more. And also we have got their live your life to the max, lads and lasses. Exactly right. Like, you never know what's just around the corner, which is why when people always ask about the case of, like, whether we're going to, I guess, get a job straight away, I always say about how I'm going to do this for as long as I can before having to, I guess, do less of it type thing, if that makes sense. It also go Reds. There's a Robert there, but currently 50 seconds left to Reds. They need one more try to get themselves the bonus point. And that's what G-Man did. As on there, it says if I can now passing across to Jamie Roberts. I think the Waratahs would be happy enough to just close out this game. But really, they would want that extra point. And the question is whether or not they can get it. Tane Ahmed, nice pass back to Alex Newsom. Now looking for the draw pass, wide cutout pass. Out now, I believe that's going to be Noah Kwanita. Once he kicks it sideways, the ball just drifts into touch. Yeah. Mark Noah Kwanita. You'd have to argue, even though the Reds, they are winning this game, I'd say that Noah Kwanita would be close to the man of the match, as well, because he has been absolutely sensational throughout this game here. Now will be the full-time siren we can hear in the background, but the next one that we are going to have is going to be the IPL at 3 a.m. or probably starting 2:50 a.m. or somewhere around there, New Zealand time. Be sure to stick around for that one, ladies and gentlemen. Little bit of the pop there. Oh, no. Because he hesitated, I believe. Oh, no, it is a free kick here. And they're going for the scrum here for the Waratahs. I know what you mean. But people will always ask, what your job is? It's human nature. And there as well. And also Hamish has a job to keep me entertained, says Dragon Down Under. Hopefully, I've been doing it not too bad up till this point. Also, I've got to have a few beers today now. And there's his fleshing as well, yeah. And the URC, I feel like that's going to be a tough watch overall. Just because, like, I mean, he was doing it before I was even, like, thinking about doing YouTube. I think he's been going since the early stages, the World Cup, etc. Maybe I saw you, Hamish. And there, as I says, Jack. In the chat. But, yeah, he's been doing it a long time, Gareth. And he was one of the first, I guess, that paved the way for the rest of us to start doing it, if that makes sense. Like, he made it so that rugby did have an option of being done. I'm terrible at speeches. I don't know. And also, you saw your community. And there as well says Jack. There's going to be the free kick now for the Rebels, or is it? Is that the end of the game? No, the Reds now have a tap, and they want to take this one quickly, see whether or not they can get themselves one more as well. Wide cutout pass out to Isaac Henry. Nice little step there. And also, we've got the Amish. I sent you a pic on Discord. I think you should advertise the IPL stream just like this. As also, we'll give it a look. But that one, and also, yeah, mate, otherwise I would not be here in this. It's Dragon Down Under. My mum surely helps every once in a while just to keep you on side. And also, that's why I love his streaming more than actually watching the game itself. Since 70 so's are there. Now, Hunter by Sami. Got this one. The Reds haven't given up on their bonus point, but also the Waratahs are also looking to see whether or not they might be able to get themselves one. And Raiders beat Titans by 2. That will be a hard one. That's a little knock on, and that is the end of the game. 32 points to 20 in this matchup. And what was almost a close finish, but the Reds, they win it. They get the 4 points, but they do not get their bonus point just by 2 points. Geez, that will be, yeah, that's not going to be too flash for that one. And also, like, I used to, it worked as well. Here's Sebastian, also Paul Gareth. And there says Dave the Mod, yeah. And it's certainly very southern. It's a weird one, like, in regards of, like, I guess, like, YouTube's strange overall in regards of, like, it would have had to be family members, I would think. But then, like, yeah, it's not good. Orion Titans, ouch. And there says Sebastian. But nonetheless, that is going to be the end of this live stream. We have got the IPL coming a little bit later on tonight. Game over Red Rover. Excuse the pun. And there, I will allow it overall. But it is going to be now the next match between the IPL sides and the Kolkata Knight Riders and also Chennai Super Kings. And that will be on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. That is the pinned comment. Be sure to check us out at 3 a.m. in New Zealand time, as it is going to be a very exciting game. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all